Hello, I hope you're having a good day. So this video is for you who consider yourself a very open-minded person, who's like have a very open and receptive with emotions, and have no problems actually sharing your emotions. So you sort of have an open mind and an open heart. So emotions flowing through, and potentially you've had maybe a lot of problems with anxiety as well in your life, and potentially also self-criticism. This video is for you, and especially if you feel like you have done some work on yourself. You have done some emotional changes. Maybe you are feeling better now than you did before. Maybe you've been to therapy, or you worked on regulating your anxiety, and you have some insights on yourself. So this is for you who are an open person, but is on the way to changing a lot. Because I want to talk a little bit about what can hold you back, specifically this type of person that you are. What can hold you back actually in not really benefiting fully of your very good qualities of being an open person. Because first of all, I want to say that that's really a nice quality. Like, this is for you. Like, if you're an open person, then you're very receptive. You're very sensitive to picking up energies, and you have a big capacity for love. You have a big capacity for connection because you are so open, basically, and you want connections. You want to share, and also being self-critical can actually be quite a good trait. I mean, if you compare to people who are not self-critical at all, how likely are they to change? Not very much. I mean, if they have problems. It's another thing if you grew up like in a safe environment and you develop and you're not critical. That's one category. But I'm talking about if you had like a rough start in life, and this is for you who are more anxiously driven and self-critical. So I first also want to like give you a perspective of the self-criticism have also been have benefited you, because it has pushed you to change. It might have pushed you to all the time look inside and have introspection. So it's a good thing. However, it comes to a period in your life when you need to stop with that, when it's time to really understand that you have much more in you. You have much more to do in this life than just be open and share your feelings and be self-critical. So if you feel like you've changed a lot, like you're not as anxious before, however, you notice yourself like in relationships that you are still stuck in the loop of oversharing everything in you. You're still stuck in the loop of like giving. You're still stuck in the loop of still all the time like being like thinking too much, overthinking things, being like introspection, and all the time like assessing whether you said or did the right thing, or if someone got hurt by you. I mean, this is beautiful things, but it helped you to evolve. But now it might be that it's time to let go of that behaviors, and also then to let go of people that is sustaining that behavior in you. That is what I'm going to talk about. So you did the change. However, you're still surrounded by people who you notice that you are the person who always open about your emotional states. It's not certain that it's actually something that you want. I mean, if you can recognize yourself, if you think about it, like, why do you share at all times how you feel, and why? And are you stuck also in relationships when someone always asks you, how are you feeling? They don't talk so much about themselves. They ask you, how are you feeling? And some way or another, you always end up talking about yourself. And it might be also that you've had the role of being the one with problems, like around your friends, or like with a partner, or like in a family system. So it might be that, it's difficult because maybe you had support by these friends, or by these partners, or by this family. But the problem is, like, when you actually change, when you actually evolve, it might be that your friend, your partner, family, they don't really trust it. And that you sort of end up being stuck in the position of the victim, or in the position of a person who should always be open about everything that goes on in you, and that everyone should have access to what's going on in you. And this, you might think that, well, this is a good thing. I have support, and I should be open about it. However, this very behavior and these very specific roles might be something that actually gets you stuck, and that is the reason why you don't evolve. So it's like a tricky thing. Like maybe your partner, your friends, or your family, they do want you to change, but they don't, because if you do, then their role changes as well, right? So someone who has helped you, someone who's been a supportive person for you, and who sort of might be stuck in that loop of my worth lays in me being in control and being supportive of someone. If someone is stuck in that loop and matches with your loop of I need to be the victim, I need to be easily accessible all the time, then you matches. And what if you change? What if you are ready to actually step into something else, if you change internally, but you will not if you're still stuck with that role, with that person? Like if you're still stuck with always being the giver of your emotional content, and this other person or this system is always like the one supporting you. And I'm saying this because it's important to be aware of it, so that you understand that this dynamic might be what is the last step into your change. Like if you feel like as if you changed, but you still feel anxious sometimes, and then you go to more therapy and you work on yourself more and more and more. But it might be that the work is not about on your anxiety or like our emotions. The work might be to actually step into another way of relating to people. So it actually might be behavioral changes that might help you change and get rid of that anxiety for good. So for example, like if you notice that a person always asks you, so how are you doing? How is it with your anxiety? How should we think about this? Blah, blah, blah. And to actually experiment with not sharing at that point. If you're feeling good at the moment, if you actually change a bit. Because if you share, and if you start to look for problems in you that this person wants to find in you, then you're stuck in the problem loop. Then you are creating problems. This is sort of trippy, but it's true. Like you are creating your own problems by talking about problems that potentially might, exist, but it doesn't have to. It only exists because you talk about them, because you reinforce them. You encourage the problem world, the problem vibe, instead of like not answering. Like, I'm actually answer, I'm feeling fine, which is not the whole reality. And no one is feeling like 100% fine all the time. But what I'm saying is, if you want to change for real, you can actually choose what answer you want to give, and that answer will actually be part of creating a reality. That answer will actually help you like reinforce a reality where I am fine will be the reality, or a reality will, yesterday I felt a little bit of anxiety and insecurity when I met this person, but then it went better. You can reinforce that reality as well. So it's all about your choices at this point. When you get rid of the worst anxiety, when you're not in need anymore, then it's really about changing the way you show up in this world for yourself and for other people. So in that situation, if you have a habit of always pouring your heart out and always pouring everything and actually looking for problems, it might be a good idea to actually force yourself to stop that impulse, which can be quite difficult and quite triggering. Not only because you're stopping a habit, also because it's quite emotionally charged. It might be one driving force behind being that open might be that you feel guilty if you don't serve the other person with content. You feel guilty if you don't make the other person feel like it's taking care of you and feel all big and good and in control. You might feel guilty because then you're not giving that person what it wants you to give it. It also might be that you feel scared, and insecure, like if I don't pour my heart out and in that way look for validation in the other person, like the other person is then supposed to say, oh, I understand, and either say, oh, it's nothing to worry about, or say, yeah, I used to think about this and this, and validate my reality or neglect it. It might be that, I get worried, like, okay, if no one else, if not the other person is going to validate if my experience in my heart is true or false, then who is going to do it? Who do you think? Well, the one that's left is you. So that's like an exercise of not pouring it out there, but pouring it in instead. Like asking yourself or keeping your own heart space. So what I'm talking about is creating integrity, which might be like the next step in your healing. If you change a lot in yourself, but you still lose integrity, you still overshare, and you're still stuck in the loop, and that makes you not change. So either you let go of those relationships, but if they're still in your life, obviously because you're a partner or a family, you need to change how you act in those relationships. So for example, again, if someone asking all the time, how are you? And they want you to say, no, I'm not good. They feel good in a weird way. They feel safe when you are fragile, when you are dependent, because then they can feel big and they can avoid their own problems. So in the situations, just try experiment with answering, no, actually it's fine. And then ask about them instead, or talk about something positive. And if they persist, like, yeah, I don't want to talk about this right now. And or you can say, you can trust that I will come to you and talk about my problems when I need to talk to you. You can trust that then I will come to you. You don't have to ask me all the time. I will come to you when I need it. And when you say so, it not only does it give safety for you, like you are telling yourself that you trust yourself to ask for help when you need it, actually it also can calm the other person down. It can calm that person down, like, okay, maybe I can trust, I don't have to be in control all the time. I can trust that he or she will come to me when needed, because that person have control issues. So not only will it give safety to you, but also the other person, and you also challenge the other person, your partner or family or friend, to actually try to let go of control, to try to let go of being always the one that is the helper. So you also challenge that person to actually look inside. Is my worth only in this role of being a helper, or is my worth deeper than that? Can I be worth something? Can I be valued even though I don't help someone all the time? Even though I don't keep, control of someone all the time? And have I a worth also if I am vulnerable sometimes and if I need help sometimes? They also challenge that person in doing so. So these small changes in how you act, in how you communicate, and how you behave can give ripple effects, like definitely in your life and in other lives too. So like it's a big service you do. And however, it will be uncomfortable because you will behave according to the changes in you. You will behave as if you are more confident. If you're not a person with problems all the time, who's fragile and who everyone has access to, you will behave as a person who also have a positive life and also have integrity. So when you behave in that way, life will give those behaviors back to you. Then you will be treated in a way as if you're a person with integrity that not have problems all the time. So it's like a receiving relationship with your reality, which is pretty awesome. So again, try this out. If you did some changes in your life, if you've been to therapy, and if you feel like you're at a better place, but you're still stuck in some loops, then you need to change the actual role you have with other people, relationships, how you interact. You need to act in very specific different ways. And then you will have the chance to actually step into another reality. And again, if you want to dive deeper into this, I actually created a digital course, How to Love Yourself and Live Fully. The link in the description if you want to work more hardcore discipline focused with this. Otherwise, this video is also like helping on the same theme. So I wish you good luck with that, and see you.